February 11, 2021. While most Americans slept, something unprecedented was happening in the frozen wilderness of Alaska. Deep inside the HAARP research station, classified transmission logs were recording activity that would never make it to public records. The high-frequency active auroral research program had initiated a 72-hour testing sequence. Transmission parameters logged between February 11th and 13th show unprecedented ionospheric heating patterns. The frequency modulations recorded during this window have never been declassified. But what makes these logs truly disturbing is the timing. Exactly 72 hours after HAARP's final transmission, the polar vortex began its catastrophic descent toward Texas. The National Weather Service had predicted a standard cold front. Nothing more. Their atmospheric models showed no indication of the unprecedented polar displacement that was about to occur. Yet within hours of HAARP's transmission window closing, the entire polar vortex shifted 1,500 miles south. A meteorological event so rare it defied every computer model the Weather Service had ever run. The precision of this timing raises questions that government agencies refuse to answer. Questions that lead to one inescapable conclusion about what really happened during those 72 critical hours. If you're finding value in this, hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Building on what we uncovered, let's examine the weapon itself. 3.6 billion watts of focused electromagnetic energy. Enough power to heat entire sections of the ionosphere to unnatural temperatures. The official story claims atmospheric research, but the physics tells a different story entirely. When electromagnetic waves penetrate the ionosphere, they create artificial heating zones. These heated zones act like atmospheric bulldozers, pushing and pulling jet streams far from their natural paths. The military applications remain heavily classified, but dual-use research programs reveal the true agenda. Weather modification, disguised as ionospheric science. Every pulse from those antennas rewrites atmospheric physics, turning our atmosphere into a weapon of unprecedented power. Now we understand the mechanism. February 14, 2021. Texas temperatures plummet to -19 degrees Fahrenheit. Within hours, the power grid begins its catastrophic collapse. 4.5 million Texans lose power simultaneously, the largest blackout in state history. But here's what they don't want you to know about infrastructure failure patterns. Energy companies' profit margins spiked 9,000% during the crisis. Natural gas prices jumped from $50 to $9,000 per megawatt hour. ERCOT, the grid operator, made $11 billion in 4 days, while 246 Texans froze to death in their homes. Emergency response systems failed at every critical juncture. Ambulances couldn't reach victims. Hospitals lost backup power. Water treatment plants shut down. Food distribution networks collapsed entirely. The perfect storm, or the perfect execution of a calculated plan. Who benefits when critical infrastructure fails on demand? As we discussed, HAARP's ionospheric manipulation preceded this collapse by exactly 72 hours. Building on what we've uncovered, the Texas freeze wasn't HAARP's first rodeo. The pattern stretches back decades. Each catastrophic weather event preceded by suspicious ionospheric activity. Summer 2003. Europe's deadliest heat wave in 5 centuries killed over 70,000 people. 3 days before the temperatures soared, HAARP's Alaska facility ran its most intensive tests to date. The ionospheric heating patterns match perfectly with the atmospheric conditions that triggered the heat dome. Fast forward to 2012. Hurricane Sandy defied every meteorological model. The storm took an impossible 90-degree turn toward New York. Hurricanes don't behave this way naturally. HAARP's transmission logs show massive electromagnetic pulses fired into the ionosphere during Sandy's approach. The California drought. 7 years of engineered water scarcity that destroyed entire agricultural communities. HAARP's electromagnetic transmission schedules align perfectly with California's precipitation patterns. When the facility powered down for maintenance, the rains mysteriously returned to normal levels. Australia's Black Summer bushfires, the most devastating in recorded history. Atmospheric research programs had been heating the ionosphere above Australia for months before ignition. The evidence is overwhelming. These aren't coincidences. They're field tests for the ultimate weapon. Now comes the most disturbing part of this investigation: the systematic silencing of anyone who dares question official weather narratives. Not a single mainstream meteorologist discussed atmospheric manipulation during the Texas freeze coverage. This wasn't oversight. This was orchestrated silence. Follow the money. University atmospheric research programs receive millions in military funding. Scientists who bite the hand that feeds them quickly find their careers destroyed. Social media platforms actively suppress weather modification discussions. Posts about ionospheric heating mysteriously disappear. Accounts get shadow banned. But they can't erase the patent records. Patent number 4,686,605. Ionospheric heating for weather modification. Filed by the United States Navy. Approved by the Patent Office. They own the technology, they control the narrative, they silence the truth-tellers. The cover-up extends from university laboratories to newsrooms to Silicon Valley servers. But the evidence remains, hidden in plain sight for those willing to look. Weather warfare isn't science fiction, it's classified reality. Operation Popeye. Vietnam War. 9 years of classified cloud seeding operations. They extended monsoon seasons by 30 to 45 days. Washed out enemy supply routes. The technology has evolved beyond cloud seeding. HAARP represents the next generation. Economic warfare through climate manipulation. Destroy infrastructure. Cripple entire regions. Texas lost $200 billion. Millions without power for weeks. Population control through systematic infrastructure collapse. Test public response patterns. Emergency services overwhelmed. Supply chains severed. Social order strained. Every extreme weather event now carries the shadow of artificial manipulation. Hurricane intensification. Drought amplification, flash freeze capabilities. The patterns are accelerating. More frequent, more precise targeting. Preparation isn't paranoia, it's survival. Backup power, water reserves, food storage. The weapon exists. The capability is proven. The question isn't if, but when. If this opened your eyes, smash that like button and subscribe for more.